Okay, so quickly we will start our today's session. Before going to our today's session that is on planning strategy, majorly we are talking about. So before going, we will discuss our last session, what we discussed in our last session. So in our last session, we majorly, check PP end-to-end process flow with MEC to stock planning strategy, and where we majorly focus on the production order confirmation, goods issue, and good receipt of the production order, where we discuss how to do the backflush and auto good receipt for the production order. A backflush is nothing but automatic goods issue to the production order during your order confirmation, where we do have three options available. That's I have colored this in the orange one. We have three options available where we can put the backflush indicator and we can do automatic goods issue to the production order during confirmation based on the different business scenarios and based on the different business cases. Okay. And the same time, we discuss about the auto good receipt, the auto good receipt indicator, and that functionality we can activate with the help of two different configuration. One is the production scheduling profile and second one is the routing control key. So OPKP and OP00 are the transaction code. We checked how to configure the production scheduling profile, how we can assign it to our specific material master. It will automatically come to your production order. So when you are doing the production order confirmation, it will do the auto good receipt. The same way, if I'm doing on a operation base multiple operations in a one production order and I'm doing the operation based confirmation for that specific order, we can also do activate auto good receipt indicator with the help of control key that we can simply assign to the operation in the routing, and we can do the auto good receipt in the production order. And also we saw if we really want to do the auto goods issue and auto goods receipt for a specific production order at any point in time without maintaining this master data, we do have that facility available in the order confirmation parameters in OPK4, where we can activate all components tab. Then system will overwrite everything and system will always do the GIGR automatically for the production order. That's what we discussed in our last session. So today we will go to the major planning strategies. Before going there, I just want to know if you have any doubts on the backflash and auto good receipt, functionality. Okay, so we will quickly move to the next topic, that is planning strategies. As we know, in the SAP production planning, we do have different planning strategy that standard SAP always configure for us, and we can simply use that planning strategy and we can do our planning based on the requirement. So here I have noted some couple of majorly used planning strategies. At a very high level, first we need to understand the difference between make to stock and make to order. Okay, and once we know the make to stock planning strategy, within make to stock itself, SAP has given a different kind of planning strategy that we will simply go and discuss, so that we will come to know what is the meaning and what is the difference between planning strategy between, let's say, 10 and 11 or 10 and 40. These kind of questions may be asked during your interview also when you are arriving for the PP consultant. Okay, as a PP consultant, these kind of questions may ask, because these are very standard functionalities that SAP has provided. And as a PP consultant, at least we should know how the standard planning strategies are working. Although we can definitely go in the system and we can configure our own planning strategy based on the business requirement. But most of the time, what I've seen, the business requirement, which during the planning, okay, whatever the business requirements are there, that requirement will get either fulfilled by one of the planning strategy, and also we can change the standard planning strategy also, and we can work on that fashion. Okay, so the first one is net requirement planning, that is 10 number make to stock planning strategy, that we already run one our end-to-end scenario yesterday and very initial level, but we will discuss in detail about that, and we will quickly run one scenario for that also, so that we will understand, because we need to understand what is the gross requirement planning strategy 11. This is again the make to stock planning strategy. Then this is very commonly used planning with final assembly 40 and production by lot. So these are very major make to stock planning strategies mostly used in any kind of scenario. Okay, at the same time, these are some red mark planning strategy. I have intentionally kept it in a red. Planning at a assembly level 70, planning at phantom assembly level 59, and planning for a assembly without final assembly, that is 74. So the description wise, you don't go and try to understand what is the meaning of that. Once we will go into the planning strategy, you will come to know what is the meaning of that. But these three planning strategies, what I am kept it in a red, that planning strategies will be maintained at assembly level. If I'm saying assembly level, that means I'm having a finished material, semi-finished material, and raw material. That's how my BOM is. So these kind of planning strategies will not be maintained at the finished material. That kind of planning strategies will be maintained at the semi-finished material level. Okay. And we will do plan the semi-finished material, get the semi-finished material in the stock, and then we will go and do production for the finished material. The finished material could be mapped with any one of the planning strategy that is maintained in the black color. That means at a very high level, the planning will be happen in that fashion. Our semi-finished material will be always ready to start our finished production, so that our delivery time to the customer, the impact on the customer delivery will be the minimal. So that kind of planning strategy is normally maintained at the semi-finished material. And also in the make to order is the 20 number planning strategy. This is very commonly used. So 10 and 20, these are very commonly used planning strategies. Okay. Then planning without final assembly 50. This is exactly, opposite to the planning with final assembly level 40, right? And there is one more planning strategy, that is planning with planning material. So this is also very interesting planning strategy. Intentionally I kept, and I thought like we will discuss more on that planning strategy, because I never seen this kind of planning strategy used anywhere. But the functionality wise, if you see the planning strategy is something different. Okay, that we will discuss now. As I said, first we will try to understand the difference between make to stock and make to order. So you can see these are kind of make to order planning strategies, and these are kind of make to stock planning strategies. Okay, within the make to stock itself, there is a difference. So first we will try to understand the difference between 10 and 20. This is make to stock and make to order. I will quickly go to the next screen. Okay, here we will try to understand. So this is what the scenario what we discussed in our last session. Okay, where we try to run our end-to-end cycle. First we created one, plan independent requirement. Then we run the MRP system, create one plan order, then production order release. Then we did the confirmation of production order, and then we did the good receipt for the production order. So when we are doing the good receipt for the production order, that will go it in the unrestricted stock, and it's called as warehouse stock. So this planning we have done without any sales order reference. We did our planning based on our forecast. Based on our forecast, we did the plan independent requirement, and we did the production planning and production execution. Now the thing is, this stock, whatever we have for any ABC material, we can sell to any incoming sales order, because this is make to stock. We are just manufacturing the material, and we are supposed to sell it to any customer, any incoming sales order that we can sell it. This facility is there in the make to stock planning strategy. And when we actually deliver the stock to that sales order, our plan independent requirement, which we have already created in the system, that will get reduced. So I'll put it here. So these are the actually PIR reduction will happen once we will deliver this material to the customer. Now, if I'm trying to find out the difference between make to order and make to stock, I'll put here make to order. Okay, order 20 number planning strategy. Okay, so what is the difference in that? All the functionalities what we see in here in the production planning will remain same, except here we started our production with plan independent requirement, but in make to order we will start our production with the help of sales order. So this planning strategy is saying you cannot start your production, or you should not start your production if you don't have a sales order. If you have a sales order, then go ahead, do production. Okay, that will be exactly same. So what I'll do, I will keep it here exactly the same fashion, and I will remove the transaction code now. I don't want this. Okay. What I'll do, just a minute. Okay. So this functionality will remain same. I'll keep it here. Okay. My plan order and plan order confirmation and everything will be same, and my purchase requisition cycle will exactly the same. Okay. So this will be like, once I'll get the sales order, we will run the MRP, system will create the plan order. Now this plan order will be with the reference of this sales order. So what I'll do here, for the understanding purpose, if my this is the sales order color, this plan order whatever I am creating, that will be with reference to the sales order. This production order will also be with reference to the sales order. Once I'll do the confirmation and good receipt, that stock will be assigned to the sales order. Here we call it as a warehouse stock, but here the stock will be called as a sales order stock. Okay, I'll do GR here. Okay, I'll put GR, and the stock is called as sales order stock. So this is the difference in majorly make to order and make to stock. Okay, I'll put this thing after confirmation GR. To do the confirmation, we will do the goods issue, correct? And that cycle will remain same. So what I'll do, I will put the same, oh, sorry. So my purchase requisition cycle will be exactly the same. That's fine. And